When you look at people who are growing up right now, when you look at people in their 20s and 30s, why is it that they're secretly confused, lonely, hurt, when externally everything seems to look okay?
A lot of people that you look at are going through a crisis that you will never see. So we're sort of familiar with this idea of a midlife crisis. This is when men like me and you, we maybe hit our 40s, maybe hit our 50s. We're maybe paying a mortgage. We don't get to do what we want. We'll maybe dye our hair, buy a convertible, and start driving really fast. But what I think is happening way more, and there was an interesting study on LinkedIn that found that 70% of people in their 20s are going through something called a quarter life crisis. You sort of took all the right steps, you did what you should do, but you wake up one day and you realize this is not the life that I want. So I think we're seeing a ton of that. And I think that one of the main reasons for that is that the answers that the generation before gave us used to work. So like when I was growing up, my parents were like super like, oh, look, you have to be a doctor. And then this sort of idea of going to college, getting educated, you'll get a good job, and then you'll be able to buy a house and happily ever after kind of stuff. But I think that formula doesn't work anymore. I think our institutions have started to fail us, not in a negative way. But I think if you look at the way that psychiatry develops, we'll do research for 20 or 30 years before we figure something out. And there's still studies being published on Facebook today. And I don't mean Meta, I mean Facebook. So this was a trial that started like 8 years ago that they're like publishing the results now. So the rate of change in the world is rapidly increasing, and we don't really know how to deal with it. And young people are getting absolutely crushed.